Baseman bats ninth, and they'll face Tyler Thomas.
And Tyler Thomas is a freshman left-hander, 6'1", 170-pounder from Keller, Texas. On the year for Thomas, this will be appearance number 9 and his 7th start. No wins, 2 losses, but as you mentioned in the pregame, a sparkling ERA of 2.81. So the guy has not had a lot of support behind him. 25 and 2/3 innings, 17 hits, 11 runs, only 8 earned runs, 23 strikeouts. But here's the problem. So sometimes it's been self-inflicted. 25 walks to 23 strikeouts is absolutely horrible as far as the strikeout-to-walk ratio. He has 4 wild pitches. He's hit 4 batters. So if he's a little bit wild in this cold air, Tigers need to take advantage of it early in this game.
So again, it'll be Williams, Henneman, and Webb due up.
Tigers trying to do something they have not done since the first series of the season, and that's win a weekend series. Now, they won earlier this week against Arkansas State in the home-and-home, but as far as 3-game series are concerned, they knocked off in the opening weekend Western Kentucky way back on February 17th, and then a doubleheader on the 18th. Tigers took 2 of 3. They have not won a 3-game series since.
Around the league today, Cincinnati leading UCF 7-6, bottom of the 8th. South Florida leading at 7th-ranked East Carolina 4-3. They're in a delay in the 7th. Bottom of the 3rd, Houston trailing at Tulane 1-0. They're playing game 1 of a doubleheader. Here we go. First pitch on the way from Thomas will be a strike on the outside of Carlos Williams. Williams comes into the ball game at 296, no homers and 5 driven in on the season.
Is that a great series? 4 for 9 for Carlos.
0-1, batting 143 in the leadoff spot, but this is just the 2nd day in a row, and he did a pretty good job yesterday. So if he repeats that, that average will come up.
2 for 4, 2 runs scored, and an RBI in yesterday's 7-2 win.
1-1, slider down and in, but a called strike 1-2 on Carlos. Decent little crowd despite the weather. 1-2. The left-hander winds and deals. Goes after one down and away, strikes out, and there was 1 out.
72-mile-per-hour pitch on that one. He kept it off speed against Carlos, and Carlos way out in front of that one for the first out of the inning for the Tigers.
Cale Henneman, the junior third baseman, 276, no homers. He's driven in 11 this year.
We mentioned the proposal from Colton Neal, his girlfriend saying yes before the game, but once again, Colton will miss the contest 2 games in a row as he tweaked that knee on Friday.
Healthy enough to get down on the knee, though. That was good. Didn't have to
it was the other knee,
do
right?
The awkward stand-up proposal. There's a strike called on the outer half. 0-1. Henneman this year, 6 doubles, 2 triples, 17 walks, only 15 strikeouts. Left-hander comes to the plate. There's strike 2. Like Jimmy Mike's strike zone already for both teams. He's calling it like it feels 35 degrees.
So far, Thomas is fighting that strike zone. I mentioned the strikeout-to-walk ratio, which is not good.
Bounced that in front of the plate yesterday. Of course, had kind of a pinched-in strike zone on the ins and outs yesterday.
Yes.
So anything's going to look pretty big early this afternoon.
Well, everybody, and that includes the umpiring crew, would love a quick, clean game today.
1-2 in the dirt again. Those 2 waste pitches are a little rough, both in the dirt, well out in front of the plate.
68 miles per hour. Man, he's thrown slow, slower, and slowest so far. That one at 68.
2-2. Comes at him, there's a base hit into right field. So Henneman a 1-out single to right.
Cal's second hit in the series.
Tigers have a runner aboard here for Webb and Trella, as long as they can stay out of a double play.
See what he did there, Jeff? He timed it perfectly, held back on that off-speed pitch. He got it at 2-2, and he just had a nice, quick, short, compact swing and drilled it into right field. Good job by Cale Henneman.
Tyler Webb back at the 319 after a nice day yesterday. 1 homer, 18 driven in, a 302 hitter with the runners on base.
Huge second game of the series for Tyler Webb. Met his parents after the game, in from Texas to watch their son.
They'll look over now to the plate, down in the dirt. Klingler's turns the mid over.
Henneman's 2 for 3 in stolen base attempts. Again, we talked about this yesterday. The Tigers only 16 successful stolen base attempts out of 31. They're not a big running team, but you would think on from a guy who's throwing a lot of off-speed pitches, that's an opportunity to run.
There's a strike down the middle, now 1-1. Comes up 215. He's a 444 hitter when he leads an inning off. Trello 215, 3 homers overall, 7 doubles and 25 RBI.
You think in a situation like that, it gives the hitter the advantage because he got to sit in there for a few pitches.
Yeah, like 4 or 5 free pitches
right.
to look at. First pitch slider down and in, misses, ball 1. 1-0 now to Trello coming up from Thomas. Slider that time is good enough for a called strike, evens it up at 1-1. Just a couple of fans on the bullpen club deck in right field, the dinger deck. No one out in left field of that wind today. 1-1, check swing. And it is a strike. It was looking for an appeal. They were looking all the way around, but Jimmy Meeks actually made the call himself. 1-2.
Trello last year, one of only 2 Tigers to play in all 59 games, did so as a freshman.
Swing and a miss, went after 1 down and out, and there's 1 out. Second strikeout now for Thomas. That'll bring up Jason Santana, the Tiger catcher, 220, a home run, and 9 runs batted in.
Well, not only is Thomas keeping it off speed, and that's keeping the Tigers hitters off balance, but the movement has been terrific on his breaking pitches, and he's fooled the Tigers so far. So far, so good. We talked about a guy whose record is not stellar at 0-2, but his ERA certainly is at 2.81, despite walking 25 batters.
That one fouled straight back into the net, and it's 0-1.
That's tops on the Baylor team.
Scoreless game in the bottom of the second. Nobody on, 1 down for Memphis. Wind up by the left-hander Thomas for Baylor. Swing and a miss. Just pounded the fastball in at 90 miles an hour. It's 0-2. Infield shifts just a little bit. Down and away, 1-2. Couldn't get him to go after it. Memphis with the next 2 days off before they host Mississippi State down at AutoZone Wednesday night. Then 7th ranked East Carolina comes to town over the weekend. The 1-2 fouled it out and played to the right side. Still 1-2. Quick meeting with Langoliers. Will jog out and talk to Thomas. Meanwhile, again, bottom of the 8th, Cincinnati leading at UCF 7-6. South Florida at East Carolina, USF up 7-3. They're in a delay in the 7th. Tulane with an early 1-0 lead. They've moved to the 4th inning. It's game 1 of a doubleheader down in New Orleans.
How's that series gone, USF and East Carolina?
I believe it is split, and it is. 1-2 pitch. Runs it in, just misses the elbows.
Well, that would be a big lift for USF if they can go into Greenville and win that series.
Probably puts them back into the rankings. They've been in and out this year, sitting at 33-19. 2-2, popped them up on the infield. Actually behind home plate, Langoliers makes the easy catch. It's 2 away. 2 up, 2 down, and that'll bring up Kyle Olette, the Tiger first baseman. 270 and 3 homers, 21 driven in.
Well, we were talking with Darren Schoenrock after yesterday's victory, and we previewed this game today, and he knew the weather conditions, as did we, and he said, runs may be scarce. They may be hard to come by because it's going to be cold out there. The ball's not going to carry the way it carried, especially Friday night. So this is one of those games, especially with these pitchers on their game. First one appealed to first base, and he did go around a strike to Olette. But this is one you really got to try to manufacture a run or two, because that may be the difference in the game.
0-1 to Olette, who's down to the count. Thomas, swing and a miss. Got him at the letters, and now Thomas a strike away from getting out of the inning. Just 28 pitches down thrown here by Thomas. The wind up and the 0-2 stays high on the waste pitch.
Well, it's only the second inning, but he hasn't been close to walking anybody. And again, that walk, it's almost like I feel it's a mistake on the stat.
Right.
That this guy has 25 walks.
Should say 5 walks, 23 strikeouts. That one's down and away.
Exactly.
If he strikes out Olette, he then has more strikeouts than walks.
You know what? No, I'm right. 25 walks.
Yeah.
I thought maybe I was looking at the wrong pitcher.
2-2. Kicks and delivers. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. His third of the game. That'll end the inning. No runs. Brooks 7, 8, 9 in the Memphis order due up. Tigers trail at 1-0, and Hicks got out of a potentially really disastrous situation there.
Yeah, 1 run. That's all Baylor could muster. Great job by Alex. Now you got Stepter, had a huge game yesterday. In the starting lineup as the DH, went 3 for 3, 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs and a walk. One of the hits, a home run.
250, 2 homers, 3 driven in this year for Stepter. Takes the strike now at the knees. Count even up at 1-1. You always wanted Reggie Jackson to go in as an Oriole when you used to get to choose your. Always liked the little odd teams you had to play for if you were between trades. Pete Rose, of course, with the Expos. There's a strike on the outside.
Well, of course, I remember,
Marlin, yeah.
But I remember Pete. Well, I remember from all those years he played, but he was with my Phillies.
Right. 1-2. He spent several years with them. Was on that World Series team.
The Wheeze Kids. I would have loved to have seen Pete Rose. Of course, Pete Rose is not going in anytime soon. Maybe one day, years from now.
Told the person at the hotel we were at in Covington, Kentucky, just across the river from the ballpark on opening weekend. Here's the pitch down in the way. And the hotel manager says, yeah, he sits down here and he'll talk to the fans. And some old lady goes, you ever going to get in? And he's like, don't bet on it. Probably when I'm dead. So I like that he used the
don't bet on it.
I like the phrase that he used. Trust me, don't bet. 3-2. Popped him up. Foul territory, may get out of play. They're going to give it a run. The wind's going to blow it just over the fence line.
That little Labs out there. Young lady has her lab out. The Lab's just alert as heck. He heard that ball drop. He's looking for it. Look at him.
Look at that dog and batting helmet. 3-2. Thomas is ready to go. Here's the windup. Downstairs, leadoff walk.
Top of the order for the Tigers in the bottom of the 4th inning as they face Tyler Thomas, who's been darn good so far. He's given up just 1 hit. It'll be Carlos Williams, Cal Henneman, and Tyler Webb. Williams struck out in the bottom of the 1st. First pitch, off-speed pitch in there for a called strike. Good job by Danny Denz, who came in relief of Alex Hicks. Got out of the jam, allowing just that 1 run on the fielder's choice, but that was charged to Hicks. So Danny keeps the Tigers in this game at 3-0, but they need to get going offensively. Final line on Alex Hicks, 3 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs all earned. He walked 1, struck out 4, faced 19 batters and threw 74 pitches. That one is low for a ball. 2-1 now to Carlos Williams. Thomas fires. That one is bounced down the third base line, but foul. That'll even the count at 2. Cal Henneman, who has the only Tiger hit on deck, and he'll be followed by Tyler Webb. Thomas only 44 pitches to this point. Again, fouled off at the plate by Carlos Williams. Count remains even at 2. Tigers trying to win their first 3-game series since opening weekend. That was back on February 17th. They played a doubleheader on the 18th against Western Kentucky. Tigers won 2 of 3. Here's the 2-2. That one is popped up in the infield on the right side. Second baseman Bissonette will call off the first baseman Thomas, and he makes the catch for the first out of the inning. 1 down, and that'll bring up Cal Henneman.
Batting for the Tigers, third baseman.
The left-handed hitting third baseman. He singled in the first inning, but he was picked off to end the inning. Henneman 281 on the season. With that hit in the first inning, 2 for 9 in this series. First pitch, breaking pitch in there for a called strike. Light's been on all game long here at FedEx Park with the dark overcast skies. Fastball low and outside for a ball. That'll even the count at 1. Downright winter weather here for this series finale. Henneman asked for time, now steps back in. Waves the bat a bit. Here's the 1-1. That one's a breaker that doesn't break, stays inside. It's 2-1 down ahead of him. Thomas has walked 1. He has struck out 4. 2-1 offering. High and inside, missed by Langoliers completely. May have gotten fooled on that pitch. Maybe a little miscommunication. He looks into the dugout now, and the count is 3-1. Mentioned coming into this game, Thomas, 25 walks to 23 strikeouts. That pitch is way outside, and Henneman earns himself a free pass, and he's reached base both times. He's been up to bat. So the Tigers with a runner on, trailing 3-0 here on the bottom of the 4th inning. And that'll bring up the center fielder Tyler Webb, who popped out to the first baseman Thomas in the first. Webb went 4 for 4 in Game 2 of this series. Steps in at .317, slugging .460 and .296 with runners on. Henneman 2 for 3 in stolen base attempts. Thomas now from the stretch. That's his 3rd straight pitch, high and outside of the strike zone. And Langoliers, the All-American catcher, will now jog his way out to the mound to talk to Tyler Thomas, who's had good control up until this point. Langoliers has his say. Now he'll trot back behind the plate. Wind continues to gust left to right here at FedEx Park. Wind chill in the mid-30s. Thomas fires. That one is in there for a called strike. Looked a little low, but he gets the benefit of the doubt from the home plate umpire, Jimmy Meeks, and that evens the count at 1.
Kind of lost his balance, but regardless, he falls into the base of the wall and hangs on.
Yeah, it's a good thing he did, or it'd be a 4-0 game and another runner in scoring position. Who knows what would have happened, but great job by Evan Bell.
Here we go. Strelly struck out in the 2nd inning, 0 for 1 today. Trella, 214, 421, he leads an inning off, and Greg, it almost appears the sun's trying its best, trying to get through some of the clouds here.
Yeah, it's gotten a little bit brighter here at FedEx Park. Tigers need to figure out the jigsaw puzzle that is Tyler Thomas, who's faced the minimum through 4.
4 innings, 1 hit, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Every time a runner's been on, there's been a pickoff and 2 double plays the 3 times the Tigers have put someone on.
Only 58 pitches coming into the inning.
So 2-0. Infield, outfield, all straight up here on Trella. Trella popped it up, shallow left, actually just behind shortstop. It's going to blow back into the infield. And Lobster makes the catch. There's 1 out. That'll bring up Jason Santana. He popped up to the catcher. Langoliers in the 2nd inning. He is 0 for 1 in this ballgame. 217 on the year for Santana with a homer and 9 runs batted in.
Tigers need to be a little more patient with Thomas. The last 4 batters he faced, he fell behind in the count. Carlos Williams at a 2-1 count, he popped up. He then walked Henneman. Webb was 2-1, and then he ended up grounding into the, or lining into the double play.
Yep.
And then Trella was 2-0, and he pops up there. So, again, a little more patience maybe, and you can get to this guy because he's falling behind the hitters.
1-0. Kind of fouled that one off funny. That's a great job for the managers. They didn't have to move a bit. Just put your hand down. Baylor bear lead, and Baylor is going to make a move out of the bullpen. Their first move of the day. Thomas, solid. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, runner left on base. The finals today, Baylor wins at 7-0. 7 runs, 12 hits, no errors, 14 left on. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error, 3 left on for the Tigers. Thomas gets the win to go to 1-2. Hicks takes a loss. He drops a 2-6 on the year. Overall, Baylor now 17-17. Memphis drops at 12-25, and the Bears win the series 2-1.
Well, Tigers had an opportunity as they take Baylor to a 3rd game in the series, but they were never really in it today. Thomas was tremendous to start. Hill, Heineman, and Robertson to follow. Baylor did enough against Hicks and then subsequently against some of those Tiger relievers to go on for the easy victory. Next weekend, you mentioned the game, of course, Wednesday against Mississippi State at